Hello, friend. Welcome to 10 Bestest, where we sift through the noise so you don't have to. I'm Karen McFarland-Holman.
And I'm Brian Hart.
I'm going to be sharing about the power of making pacts.
In this episode, I am going to be sharing the community concept, the third place. Let's get to it.
My cool sheet is productivity, and this is making pacts, P-A-C-T-S, pacts with yourself or others. This comes from Eyal's book, Indistractable. I haven't read the book, but I have taken a video course from him, which has the same name, and it is based on the book. And there was a section of the course that corresponds to chapter 4 in his book, and it has to do with this making pacts for yourself, or making pacts with yourself and others that I gained a lot from. Pre-commitments. That's one of the things you want to be thinking about with this, making pre-commitments, and these keep you from feeling distracted by removing a future choice. However, they should only be used after the other indistractable strategies have already been applied that he talks about in the earlier parts of the book. So he talks about these pre-commitments, and he says that there are 3 different kinds of them that you can use. And one is, he calls an effort pact. The other one is a price pact, and the last one is an identity pact. An effort pact. This prevents distraction from doing what you want to do by making unwanted behaviors difficult to do. So for example, you could use like a Chrome extension, there's one called Stay Focused, to block websites like Facebook and Reddit if you're trying to avoid those. So it takes more effort to maneuver yourself around them. A price pact, this is one's pretty obvious. It's a price that you would pay if you don't do it. So this is a financial cost to getting distracted. However, he does give a caveat that you need to be aware if you're going to use the price pact that they aren't good at changing behaviors if there are external triggers that you can't control. Also, it should only be used for short tasks. And he said it's kind of scary, and it's not good for people who beat themselves up a lot. It is better for people who practice self-compassion. And the final one, an identity pact. This is a pre-commitment to a self-image. So by committing to being the kind of person that you want to be or feel that you already are, but you don't always act like that way, you are more likely to have the behaviors of that ideal version of yourself. So again, this is making pacts with yourself.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
As you've, in the last few weeks, I've been talking about all kinds of different productivity, methods and hacks, or whatever you want to call them. I hate kind of using them as hacks, but I like this one. So I'm into this right now, big time. And so I like the pacts one.
Yes. My favorite one, and the one that's worked for me, is the last one, the identity one. And that actually helped a lot with getting me to exercise more. I was I am an athlete. Like I was just like, I am the kind of person that gets up early in the morning and goes to the gym or whatever. That has been really successful.
That's cool. Yeah. It reminds me, I haven't actually read the book yet either, but I've read a couple different blog posts and podcasts and things like this, but Atomic Habits is supposed to be really good. It's been on my list forever, and I think that's what his kind of mindset is. It's instead of, it's like, I'm a clean person versus I have to clean my house today.
Yes.
And kind of creating systems. Like, I'm a clean person, so I don't leave my dishes in the sink. I put them away into the dishwasher, or I rinse them right away, or whatever that is. And so it's kind of reminds me of that. And I need to read Atomic Habits as well. And now I need to check out this book.
Yes,
Make some packs.
And I would say, as you said, there are these blog posts, and so that's what I gave a link to. Since you don't have to buy the book, of course it's great to buy the book, and then the course I took you have to pay for. So if you just want to read about it for free, I have a link to that.
Excellent.
And all the links for everything we're talking about, our cool sheets, are at 10bestest.com/Alice.
Oh, well, cool. I love me some free links too. So that's really cool. Because again, you can kind of dip your toes in, see if you like it, and if you do, then buy the book. If you still want more, maybe even do the course. So that's very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate that. All right, I'm going to be talking about a community concept, and this is called the third place. So this is one of the links I'm going to share. I'm going to share a bunch, actually. It's a 3-part series of articles called The Third Place. The third place is a concept which identifies places that are not home, that's your first place, or work, that's your second place. Third places existed for centuries, but they were given the name by the sociologist Ray Oldenburg in his book, The Great Good Place, which I actually own, and I have read, a few pages of it at least. And so these third places are churches, coffee shops, gyms, hair salons, post office even, main streets, bars, beer gardens, bookstores, parks, and community centers. So in other words, it's the community's living room. So he talks about 8 distinguishing characteristics that define a third place. So neutral ground or common meeting place. So the individuals are free to come and go as they please with little obligation or entanglements with other participants. 2, levelers are places that encourage and are inclusive of social and cultural diversity. So number 3, they also have regular patrons. So this includes regulars who attract newcomers and also give the space its characteristic mood. So I love that. You don't know regulars at bars or other places, and they do add to the mood and the ambiance of the place. 4, low profile, informal places. 5, places that foster playful atmosphere. 6, a home away from home. 7, a place where conversation is a primary activity and playfulness and wit are collectively valued. And 8, places that are easy to access and accommodate various sedentary activities. So again, this is the third place.
Does this include parks, like is that, because I immediately, when you said third place, I feel like you've talked about this a long time ago. Is that possible?
Not specifically as a third place concept.
Not in the podcast, but with me, like just personally. Have you known
Probably.
about it for a while?
I've definitely, because I'm so much into the community, the local community especially. So I've had this book for 10 years, and it's definitely always been on my mind.
Okay. So,
for sure. I don't know if I've named it the third place, but I just love these common gathering places.
Okay. I think
things. It's definitely a big part of my ethos.
Okay. I'm just thinking, when you, at some point, I heard something about like, where do you spend your time, and home and work are 1 and 2. And I was thinking about, where do I spend, if I had to count hours, and it would be Minto Brown Island Park. That is number 3, I would say, if I had to add up hours. But it's not fitting in it too exactly with that, but...
Yeah, it doesn't quite fit for a third place by this definition, because it's not a more community, a kind of a social place. At least when I go to Minto, I'm kind of walking by myself. This is more of a gathering place.
Gotcha.
Now, they did talk about what they called senior parks, and I believe Japan or China, where they actually have playground equipment geared towards seniors, which is so it's like things that they can use to stretch with, maybe even some equipment that they can use, and it's out in public and for free. But they usually come very early, so they connect with their friends, they get some exercise, and they walk around the park. Yes, absolutely. So parks did fit in, but it does have to have kind of that social interaction part to it.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
But that's why coffee shops and things like that, where you can gather, of course, examples like maybe on TV would be Cheers, of course, the bar where everybody knows your name. Maybe people that weren't at that age, maybe they friends, they had the Central Perk, I think it was, but their little coffee shop that they always gathered to, and that was just their hangout. That was a hangout with their friends. So having a hangout with your friends or even by yourself, but you still have this community, and it talks about the creation of suburbs and how that's kind of disappeared. And now, I think actually with COVID, has been solidified why these third places are so important. We need these community places to gather and socialize, even if you're not talking to strangers necessarily, just being around people that are gathering in social situations definitely is good for the soul.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome.
And to read more about it, you can look up 10bestest.com/Alice. Thank you so much for joining us, friend. I'm Karen McFarland Holman.
And I'm Brian Hart.
Comment below, what's a pact that you're going to be making soon with yourself or someone else?
And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite third place?
If you're enjoying this show, please give us a like and share it with a friend.
Stay tuned tomorrow for another great show.
And don't forget to stay curious.